Good evening and a warm welcome to my lovely participants. I don't know if it is befitting to call you and address you as senior citizens because you, to me, look like you're in the pink of your age, your health, and your life stage, right? A warm welcome, and it is indeed my privilege to have you on my show. Thank you so much for doing this, first and foremost. My name is Nandini. I am a practicing counselor based in Chennai, a trainer and a columnist. And it really fills my heart to be able to do this session with all four of you. So without any further ado, I would like for you to introduce yourself so that, our listeners and viewers can get to know who they are listening to. And then we will jump right into a quick Q&A session. So let's start with our first participant. We'll start with you, Mr. Balwinder Singh.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to be with you and chat about the experiences during this lockdown, which is absolutely first time in our life.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that. Now, about myself, I am Captain Balwinder Singh. I served in the Indian Army and later in the Reserve Bank of India at various places.
Yes.
And now I have retired and settled in Delhi NCR.
Okay.
Now my family consists of two married sons and of course my wife and a little pet dog and our granddaughter who is 5 years old.
Nice.
And at present we are only living two of us with our pet, as the sons are living separately, independently, running their households and grasty. So
Very
that's about
lovely.
myself in
Lovely.
brief.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And so now in the lockdown, you haven't, of course, been able to see them and meet them.
No, not meet them personally, but just talking like this on video calls.
On video chats and make the most of
That's right.
whatever technology can give us. Thank you so much, and
because,
thank you, and a warm welcome to you. Next
Thank
up,
you.
we have Mrs. Datta. Ma'am, I think you'll have to unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mrs. Ravi Data, and I'm a wife of a defense officer.
Okay.
I'm from the defense services background, and I'm a senior citizen. I live in Noida, but at present I'm lucky to be living with my son, and my family, compromises of two daughters who are married and one son who's also a defense officer. So I'm lucky to be staying with him and my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter, and my grandson.
Okay. And
this is the first.
Sorry, and you said you are a senior citizen, and how young are you?
Well, I'm only 70 years young.
Young, okay.
And yes, I'm 70 years young. I don't call myself old, and I don't like people to address me as an old lady. I'm a young lady because I'm young at heart. And I've never seen in my 70 years, I mean, we used to read in the storybooks about the famine and the plague and things like that. But this is the first time I'm experiencing such a thing.
Yes.
But it's okay. You know, being from the services, I think we are mentally tough in the mind also.
Yes.
And you have to sail through whatever situation you are in. Yes. This is what we've been drilled. I mean, I've been drilled by my husband from day one.
Okay.
So it's okay. I mean, yes, there are plus and minus, but I think life is treating us well.
Wonderful.
No complaints. No
wonderful.
complaints.
Wonderful.
No complaints.
I think an attitude like that and that resilience is really something that makes you tide through this, right?
Thank you.
Thank you for joining in. Yeah.
Because you're not alone. You are with everybody around.
Absolutely.
Everybody is going through the same thing.
Absolutely. All
Thank
right.
you.
Our next participant is Mrs. Bama Raman. She joins us from Chennai. Welcome, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Nandini, for
My pleasure.
inviting me.
My pleasure.
Yeah. I am Satyabama Venkatraman, and I'm volunteering in a NGO for children with special needs.
Very nice.
And I live in Chennai.
Okay. And do you live with your family, ma'am? Do you live by yourself?
I stay alone in my flat,
Okay.
but my family, my brothers and his family and my mother all are in the same building.
Okay.
And just 10 minutes away is my son stays with his family.
Okay. So you've been able
And
to...
one daughter, she is in New York.
Okay. And have you been able to meet with your son during this period?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
But with this technology, it is making us easy. Like quite a few times in a day, we will just chat video calls, and
Right.
I'm able to do that.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for joining in, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. And our next participant, save the best for last, Mr. Kavindra Man, joining us all the way from Lucknow. Good evening, sir. And it indeed is a pleasure to be able to do this and reconnect with you. I think you'll just have to unmute your mic, sir. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
I can hear you absolutely loud and clear. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. For the sake of introduction, I would like to inform all our people here. I am a banker by by background. No.
Yes.
I retired as a Deputy General Manager of Bank of India at Chennai.
Okay.
During my career span of 40 years, I have been branch heads of different types of the branches bank. Besides that, I have been deeply involved in the job of training in the bank, being basically a trainer to call. So still that training has been a passion with me. I am associated as a trainer with so many organizations still. So
Right.
this is about my this thing. So far as my senior citizen is concerned, I am just 63 years young, I should say.
Yes.
And according to me, age is just something which exists in numbers only. Now, it is just in the mind.
Yes.
You are as young as you feel it yourselves to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So far as family composition is concerned, I have one son who is a probationary officer in Bank of Baroda. Incidentally, I am living with him only at present at Kanpur and enjoying the lockdown period together.
Lovely.
I have two daughters who are happily married and they are staying their own places. I am keeping in touch with them through the technology. That's it. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's jump right into, how has this period been for, yes, you are senior citizens only in number. I am completely reassured about that. But just to understand, how has this lockdown been? And, if there have been any specific challenges that you have really faced during the last 6 weeks, extension now of 2 more weeks. And how has this actually been for you? So any challenges? Balwinder ji, we'll start with you.
Yeah, actually, to share with you, this lockdown has brought me closer to my hobbies.
Lovely.
I was so excited, when I was retiring from the service,
Right.
that I'll be able to, my hobbies are singing, but that is first love.
Okay.
Of course, I was in the army, in which I could not pursue all those passions. And second is writing.
Okay.
And third, of course, gardening.
Lovely.
And little bit of photography and all other small hobbies.
Right.
And I was so excited when I was retiring from the Reserve Bank of India. that I'll be able to pursue my passions to the full.
Yes.
But still, one gets bogged down with the family life. Like I have a granddaughter. Who, again, I was, doing that duty of dropping her, picking her up, and all, and enjoying that childhood. That
Phase
again,
of life.
once again, the
Absolutely.
childhood of.
Yes.
But
And I think
now,
grandchildren are so special.
exactly special.
Yes.
So we were really enjoying that stint, and now actually to share with you, this lockdown has brought me much more closer to my hobbies now. uh, uh, of course, my daily routine is I am now sitting on my rooftop. Intentionally, I have come here just to
Okay.
share with you that I have a beautiful garden. In the morning, my about 2 hours are spent here just tending to the plants like my
Beautiful.
children, putting feed for the birds and watering and all those things and cleaning up.
Lovely.
And after that, breakfast and all, I get back to my first love, that is singing.
Okay.
I am on a app that is a Smule, and
Okay.
I sing at about one or two songs daily,
Okay.
either solo or with some partner sitting in some corner of the world.
World.
And that is, that is really my heart. I mean, this thing gets satisfied.
Yes.
And after that, the whole day, I mean, lockdown, we are so happy actually enjoying the lockdown.
How
uh,
lovely.
as far as challenges are concerned, yes, we have a pet dog, and initially, due to lockdown, we were I was feeling a little apprehensive that how to walk him, because twice a day we have
He
to take
needs
him
to.
out.
Yes.
So then, of course, I was covering myself properly and all those, taking all those precautions.
Right.
So we used to, and now with God's grace, He has started. We have a terrace. There is some area lying
Okay.
unused by
Okay.
somebody, who are tenants, and he does the job
Uses
there.
that.
So
Oh,
now I
very
am
nice.
not able to. I am not going out at all from the home.
So
कि
it's
चौखट नहीं
beautiful that
छोड़ना है
even
जैसा
he has, yeah, it's almost like
even
he's
even
understood.
yes.
Yeah, so
I was
lovely.
laughing with my wife that the even pet has understood that
Understood what a lockdown is.
otherwise he was not ready to even drop a this thing, whatever is this thing, near the house, not only
Yes.
near the house but not within 500 yards. But now
Wow.
he has understood and he is totally cooperating.
How
Yes,
lovely.
procuring his feed was a little difficult because all these provision stores, grofers and all online provisions we are getting absolutely at home. We are getting delivery of our provisions, but
Okay.
his pedigree was not available. So
Okay.
somehow or the other, I had to do running around, and I got that also.
Right.
So that will last for about a month or so. That was the only challenge. Otherwise, nothing at all. We are totally enjoying this lockdown period. Of
Right.
course, let's hope that country comes out of it sooner than later,
Yes,
because
and we all come
business
out
is suffering.
stronger like you,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
and
yes.
I will later in the show also request you if you can give us a sneak peek of your beautiful garden. I think it's just
Yeah,
brilliant that you've been able to
yes,
enjoy,
yes,
and stay so
yes.
connected with nature. So thank
Actually,
you so much.
okay, okay.
Yes, sorry, you were saying something.
No, no, yes, you say peak of the garden, because we have planted some medicinal plants also.
Okay,
Like Baba Ramdev says that
yes,
giloy juice and all this. I have got the giloy plant and aloe vera and all those curry. Of course, those are common.
very nice.
Tulsi. I mean, they're totally. So I'll get you this thing, show
Sure,
it to you.
sure. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Datta, how has this been for you? Any challenges whatsoever that you have faced the last 6-7 weeks? Unmute yourself, ma'am.
Hello. I don't think it is, affected me much.
Okay.
To me, it looks like the old times when my husband was active in the services,
Right.
like being at home, and there was no mall culture as such. So most of the time, we used to, spend at home, except for missing a few, visiting a few friends and a couple of parties here and there. I'm enjoying it. I'm a kitchen queen. I love to cook and be in the
Great.
kitchen,
Right.
most of the time. I'm going back to my old recipes of like a few days back, I made samosas after I'm almost 30 years. Made jalebis for my grandchildren.
Okay.
Then one day I was missing street food like pani puri and chaat. So I tried my hand at that, and it really came out very well.
I wish we had delivery. I wish we had delivery.
And of course, there are a few things like going to the parlor at my age. Like I told you, I'm quite young at heart, even at 70. So like going to the parlor and getting hair colored, and a few other pampering being done by the staff. That's all I miss. Otherwise, it's okay. By and large, I tend to the plants. I'm very fond of gardening.
Right.
But most of the time I spend in the kitchen cooking for my children.
Okay, so it's not
or
really
watching Ramayana.
Right. Okay, so
Or
it's not
watching
impacted
Ramayana.
you so. It's not impacted you so badly.
That's what I told you.
Right.
Like I adjust myself to any
environment.
situation, and environment.
Right.
And I'm happy that we can breathe so freely, with the clear atmosphere all around
Sky.
us.
Exactly. Yes.
There's
Absolutely.
no pollution as such.
Correct.
So
it's been a blessing.
I'm happy.
Okay.
It's been a blessing in disguise. Yes.
All right.
We can
Thank
say
you.
that.
Thank you for that.
You.
Mrs. Bama?
Yes.
How has this experience been for you? Has it impacted you? Anything that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, the main challenge was not having a helper. That was the only challenge. But then, but now after doing everything myself, and now I realize that nothing is impossible. We can do everything by ourselves, and even much better than the cleaner.
Absolutely.
And I think, we don't even need so many things. Most of the time I was enjoying going out and doing shopping, whether I need it or not.
Yes.
But now I realize all that is a waste of money.
Very
so I'm sure after the lockdown, this is going to be a good lesson.
Very
that,
nice.
most of the things we don't need, and just spur of the moment, we are just buying things.
Compulsive buyers.
Which is not necessary at all.
Not required.
Yes.
So that is giving a good lesson.
Very nice. I think you've said so much in so less that it's really driven a point that do we need so much for our existence, right? I mean, we have so much already, and just to be a little mindful of what we really need to exist, right? And how about the physical help now? Are you able to manage all your chores and everything, and your cooking, and how anything that has been impacted, your rations and your daily supplies and all of that?
Yeah, very much. See, at times, because you don't have a routine, like I have to do this, now I'm not able to do my volunteering, so I'm full-time at home. So we have lot of time at home.
Right.
So most of the time, you keep watching lots of movies, old movies, excellent ones are on TV.
Right.
And then my passion is doing crochet.
Lovely.
So now I am doing lots of face masks, just distributing them.
Lovely.
And that is as of now, my hobby is that one. And as usual, some cleaning of cupboards and here and there.
Lovely.
So sometimes, I do get a little bit depressed, but then I just try to be positive and
snap out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
excellent. So I'm going to take this opportunity and just quickly place an order for 4 masks for my family, ma'am. So if you could make those 4 masks and just keep it safe for us, and I will certainly have it picked up after the lockdown.
It is designer, so you can even tell me what specific color you want, because I was told the near future is going to be like whatever saree or the dress you are going to wear,
matching.
They are going to wear a matching mask.
Okay.
Yes.
That's going to be the latest fashion, I was told by some young friends.
Awesome. And of course, we'll have it from, the designers, Satyabama Raman's collection. So thank you for that. Thank you. Yes. Mr. Mann, how has it been for you? Any challenges that you have had?
Ma'am, I would like to say that it has been a blessing for disguise for me.
Yes.
Initially it did cause some irritant to me because lockdown as an event was faced by many of us for the first time
Correct.
for so long. I mean,
Yes.
but it was initially the human response to an unprecedented stimulus, I would say.
Right.
But as a whole, it brought me close to myself. Myself should be underlined here,
Yes.
and it made me the king of my own home. Rather, I
Yes.
am pursuing whatever activities I am liking. I am keeping myself positive by pursuing hobbies
Right.
which I hitherto was not able to concentrate on
Right.
because of my outward movements.
Right.
But and also, as the one of the madams before me said, most of the time we used to waste our money and time both
Yes.
for purchasing something which we could do without them, rather impulsive buying, I should say,
Correct.
which resulted in the wastage of our money and time.
Yes.
So our survival needs much lesser than what we used to spend and all that.
Absolutely.
And during this time, I discovered my potentialities to a great extent. I mean, I was not knowing that I can do these many things myself, physically, mental explorations and all that.
Right.
That really realization came to me during this period.
Right.
That's it.
That's been really powerful, right? Because there's so much of for us to even realize that there's so much potential that I can still dip into, which I was not even aware of.
Seriously, truly so, truly so, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have a question for the men. How have you been helping the ladies in the house with the chores and with the activities? We seem to have lost Mr. Balwinder. I don't know, he is not on the call anymore. But how about you, sir? Have you been able
Uh,
to chip in and help out?
Actually, in a couple of my postings in the bank, I was living alone.
Okay.
So I was a homemaker of myself, rather, I should say.
Okay.
So I used to enjoy this household chores also.
Okay.
So I was happy to share this household chores to the wife,
Right.
preparing sometimes the receipts, helping in the preparation of the receipts like samosas and pani puris and all that during all this time.
Right.
And jalebis also have been a great hit during
Okay.
this period.
Wonderful. I really wish there were some services between Bareilly, Lucknow, and NCR. I think I would not complain at all being at home. Every time in the evening when I need a snack, right? It would have been really
Right.
helpful. But we will make do with whatever we have right now. So thank you for
True.
that. The next thing I really want you to spend some time or throw some light on is any how are we actually managing this whole anxiety or the fear of the unknown that is really gripping everyone out there with the uncertainty of how is it going to be after the lockdown is lifted. Does that worry you in terms of what will happen to the economy, what will happen to people who are self-employed, jobs, finances, and so on and so forth? So if we can just, quickly just talk about that. Mrs. Datta?
Yes. Come again.
Yeah, no, I said, does it even bother you and worry you about how will life become after the lockdown? Because this seems to be the new normal, right? Where people are working from home. A lot of people have the fear of, losing their jobs and so on and so forth. How do you feel?
Uh,
Is this impacting our
yes.
economy and, how will
It
things?
is. It is impacting our economy, and
Yes,
there's going to be a lot of unemployment
yes,
now. Like laborers from all over the states are going back to their
native
own places.
villages. Yes,
Native villages.
yes,
Uh, I don't have much experience about the civil life as such.
right,
Like I've never been a working woman, and I've been a defense officer's wife also. And luckily, I am living with my son who happens to be in defense again.
okay,
Uh, so economically, yes, it's going to make a difference. To the world, even to the people around
Yes.
In the private sector.
Correct.
So I really don't have much experience on that private sector, so I really can't speak on that.
Okay.
But being from the central government employee and from the defense background, well, we are comfortable.
Yes.
Economy wise, like
Okay.
I am on pension, so okay.
Okay.
So things are all right.
All right. Okay.
Managing well, but yes, you feel
Fair
bad
enough.
for the people who will be unemployed,
Yes, absolutely.
in times to come.
Sure.
So we really are wondering how things are going to be, once it's lifted. So
Right.
let's see.
We'll have
Take
to just
each
wait and
step
watch.
as it comes. Yes, just
Absolutely.
wait and watch, and take a
Absolutely.
step as we come closer to it.
Absolutely. Right.
So
Thank you.
that's all.
Yes.
We can say.
So, Balvinder ji, we lost you there. The question.
Yes, my device was overheating, so I had to restart it.
I'm sorry about that.
Sorry.
Okay. So the
Yeah, no
question
problem.
really that we are discussing is, do you really feel that, the given situation is going to impact the economy and, especially people who are self-employed and, the financial base of everything, is a little unsure, insecure, a lot of people experiencing anxiety, worry, fear. How do you see this panning out?
Yes, Nandini, I feel that as far as the unorganized sector is concerned,
Right.
All those people who used to deliver newspaper at our homes and sitting on the footpath, plumbers, electricians, all those, stray workers. I mean, of course, they are missing out on earning their livelihood, the
Correct.
daily livelihood.
Correct.
And of course, the business is suffering because shops are not opening as before, and even if opening, people are not visiting them.
Correct.
I mean, the businessmen, they don't have the customers.
Correct.
The only saving grace is that most of the companies which are doing business online
Yes.
are doing well.
Right.
Of course, the economy will get impacted
Correct.
in the long run, but then what I feel is that even the model of our day-to-day business
Yes.
will have to change.
Change.
Will change. It in fact, after demonetization took a lot of people took a beating during that. When they were cash strapped,
Yes.
and whole day the laborers were standing in the queues, not doing anything but just trying to withdraw money from ATM. I mean, just digressing from that. So, but after that, digitization came in a big way.
Yes.
And people even buying 10 rupees worth of mungfali used to get the payment by the Paytm.
Correct.
So all those things, every crisis throws up some opportunity to improve.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's what I feel. But
Yes.
then, of course, the business as a whole, the economy, the world economy is suffering, and it started much before that. Much
Right.
before Corona,
Right.
the world economy that slowed down, it had started, of course, in 2008 it has started, but then it recovered. Now, of course, I mean, with US and England and all those big economies around the world, I mean, they are taking the beating the oil prices, the Gulf country. I mean, all these. So it has to. But then as I said, the business model will have to change.
Change.
And
Correct.
as ma'am said rightly, that we have realized during this period of let's say 30-40 days or so, that actually there is enough for our needs,
Correct.
but not for our greeds.
Correct.
So, so that's what this last month, April month, I have been able to I calculated my this thing, that we lived in a 1/3 of the total expenditure which we used to do earlier.
Imagine.
And of course, these people like maids and all these people who were earning their daily livelihood, all this, they will suffer. But then, of course, it will have to change over a period of time. This model will have to change.
Yes. All right.
And
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Mrs. Raman, anything that you'd like to share?
Have full faith in Almighty,
Yes.
and I have a strong feeling this too will pass,
Yes.
and we are going to have an excellent economy and a bright future for the whole world. And I have got full faith in our government officials and our dear Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Okay.
And I'm very positive that everything is going to be fine.
Yes, you sound really, really optimistic.
Yes.
It's so nice to hear that, because all, that I think being a mental health professional in the first line of, defense, all I hear is, people being so unsure, anxious all the time, scared about where they're, going to be able to pay the rent next month and so on and so forth. So it's really nice to hear this optimism, with this age group that, yes, things are going to pass and, this too will, bring better days.
No, yeah. Let us not lose hope.
Yes.
I know it is difficult,
Yes.
but I'm sure there is a way for everything, and things will be all right.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Mansar?
Madam, coincidentally,
Ji.
my response also is summed in single one line.
Yes.
That is, it too shall pass.
Okay.
Yes.
And what you call the challenges like these happen only once in a century or even more than in a century.
Absolutely.
So, of course, economy will be impacted, honestly speaking.
Yes. Yes.
But everything can be what you call worked, provided human lives are saved. And that is what our governance is seriously involved in ensuring,
Yes.
Once our lives are impacted, anything that is capable of human performance will be done in future.
Absolutely.
And in turn, economy will also find its place. And I am quite too sanguine that after this, what do you call calamity or challenge, whatever you call it, is over, we will be able to come up economy wise. That's all.
And I think also to give kudos to the government for its quickness, the way they actually came out with this lockdown. And I think they were just so quick on their feet, because
Very
if
quick.
you look at the stats, compared to this entire COVID menace, if I may call it that, worldwide, I think India has really been able to do a brilliant job in terms of contaminating it, sorry, containing it. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very commendably so. Commendably
We-
so. It has been acknowledged by the world at large.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. So I think, and especially for such large numbers that we have, to have even today, after like 42nd day, to have 38,000 is not bad, out of which you have about 10,000 which have recovered, and only
True.
about 5,000-6,000 deaths that have been reported. So I think it's been pretty well taken care of.
Managed, yes, correct.
Yes. All right. So my last question to all of you is really, what is it that you have done to keep yourself engaged, motivated, positive, and any message that you would like to leave behind for people who are viewing this? Anything. Balvinder ji, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Actually, as already shared with you that my daily routine was like that I never used to get time to do so many things which I wanted to do.
Right.
And during lockdown, of course, I had to, first thing I told my family, of course, my wife, as well as my children, sons on phone, that please keep your health as good as possible, because during this period, we should not be forced to visit any dispensary or any clinic or anything. Like you should be able to, live, have robust health and do all those things. So that's what we also started following, that taking very, very good care of our diet.
Yes.
And of course exercising.
Yes.
That is there, and keeping a very, very positive bent of mind.
Absolutely. I think it sums it up in
that is,
health is wealth, right?
yes, exactly. That is what, I told my wife also. Like, अब पहले आधा घंटा करते थे. Now we will exercise for 1 hour or 2 hours. So that's, not that getting tired or something, but then we should be able to,
Build
survive
them.
this
Yeah.
particular period,
And build
not
some good
forced.
immunity. Yes.
Exactly. That's right. Our diet, we started including all these. Like I will show it to you. Shall I show you this?
Sure, sure.
My
Yes.
plants. My
Please
plants.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
1 second. Let me
Yes.
see if I can.
It's beautiful. Your terrace garden is really, really beautiful.
Yes. Let me see if I can switch on the other camera or just with the front camera only. Now
Yes.
you see this is giloy. This is aloe vera.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, absolutely. Clearly.
And these are the vegetables, of course, not more. They are more meant for sparrows and all. And
Okay.
this is what I was talking about, giloy. This
Okay.
is the giloy creeper,
Okay.
and so this builds up the immunity.
Okay.
Actually, whenever this chikungunya and dengue and all used to spread, people used to come to me and take that
Leaves.
dandi of this, because
Okay.
it increases the platelets. And this
Okay.
is the tulsi plant. So
Beautiful.
and we are including all these things daily in our diet. I mean, in our chai, in our other things. So
Right.
this is how, and it also helps us to keep happy also, that yes, our plants are healthy, so we are healthy. That's what
Absolutely.
it is.
Absolutely.
And
Because I think nature gives us so much energy, right? I mean, it's really
yes,
gives us the prana, the life force to be able to,
yes.
really live.
And so many new species of birds have started visiting our terrace because of this greenery, because of this there.
Yes.
And maybe because of the less pollution also, and no
Absolutely.
noise,
Yes.
no electronic disturbance.
Yes.
So that's what. And
Okay.
as you said, that takeaway is this only, that we have to learn. This is a crisis situation, but we have to learn a lot. And actually, I'm thankful to this for so many things, that the families got together. The fathers are finding time for their daughters, small daughters. Like my son never used to, had time for all this. We always used to nag them. "Yaar, iske khelo bachche." And now, of course, I mean, they are finding time together. The husbands and wives, they have come together. I mean, the families, uh,
Connected and
they
bonding.
are happy, and
Yes.
they are connected, and the bonding has increased actually. This
Yes.
is what my experience is.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Mrs. Datta?
Welcome, Nandini.
Yes, I am, as I told you, I love to try out new recipes, and I spend my time cooking, spend my time gardening, be on the social media, catching up with my friends and family, then watching a bit of TV here and there, catching up with old, series, reading some books,
That's a lot.
and evening I just exercise in my lawn. Half an
Okay.
hour I take it out and do a little bit of exercise and just walk around.
Okay.
Don't cross the premises of my bungalow.
Okay.
So I'm indoors only, so to say.
Right.
So it keeps me quite happy. And as I told you, I'm basically mentally tough nut to
Strong.
crack. So very strong.
Okay.
So I don't get disheartened as such.
Yes.
And
I think
like,
it's a strength. It's really a strength.
yes,
And,
but I feel that tough times don't last, but tough people do.
absolutely well said.
So, and it's nice to have the whole family around. Of course, being in the defense, there is like no, like in the civil, people are not going to the office, but in the defense, there is no such thing.
Right.
So, but otherwise, the whole family is together. and we're trying to practice the social, distancing. But yes, and but I miss out on not meeting my friends. But generally, I feel that it's okay. Uh, like what Bhama said, that this shall too pass.
Yes.
I feel be happy in whatever situation God puts you in.
Yes.
He's trying to test your strength, and
Yes.
be strong and be happy. I think this is my message to everybody.
Thank you.
Take each day as it comes.
Right.
And if you're happy, you start your day thinking that it's going to be a nice day. I'm sure it's going to be a nice day.
Yes.
It depends,
Yeah, I think perception is really powerful.
Yes.
If you think
Yes.
the glass
So
is
if you
half
think,
empty,
then
it is
yes.
half empty.
Yeah,
If
it is half
full.
empty. If you think it's half full, it's half full.
Absolutely.
So this has always been my
mantra.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
Pleasure.
All right.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.
Mrs. Raman?
Yes. Luckily, this lockdown has given lot of time in hand.
Yes.
So, now I spend quality time with my mother,
Nice.
hearing all old stories from her.
How young is your mother, ma'am?
She's 95.
Wow.
And,
blessed.
Yeah, and I'm 68.
68, okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so, we go, my brother and my Barbies, we go to the terrace and we take some walk there itself.
Okay.
Still we wear our masks and all. My handmade masks everybody wears.
Your designer masks,
and,
yes.
We do, yeah. It's an advertisement for my mask as well.
Absolutely.
And we do some yoga and some exercises. And
Very
it is
nice.
really fun. And even, the next door and all, we have become more friendly, like they are doing it in their terrace. So we could see them. So, slowly started talking and making friends because everybody was busy working.
Yes.
So nobody had the time to
Nice.
say hi to the neighbors also.
Yes.
So now all this, it is making a lot of difference.
It's almost
so
like we are going back like about 5 decades,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
how life
yes,
used
yes.
to be simple
Very
and
used
how
to be.
yes,
True, true.
and very deeply connected. And then somewhere we just lost those connections. I think it's all coming back.
I think the people started working. That's why we lost it.
Yes, true.
No, and also, this, if they get something extra or something, immediately they say, do you need anything? Or you can also have, you can see that sharing has become more, and, people are more concerned. Whoever you are, it is, all that is really good.
More empathetic, more compassionate.
Yeah, very much, very much.
True.
So all we can say is, keep thanking God each and every moment for keeping us healthy and safe, and also pray for everyone to be healthy and safe.
Yes.
And we will bring out this Made in India is going to be a great success because everywhere you close, and now we will realize that we can do anything and everything in this our own country, and that is going to be an excellent thing after this lockdown is removed.
Right.
Let us pray to the Almighty that it happens.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for, closing.
God bless you, Nandini, for
you.
giving us an opportunity to share our views as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think, we're closing on a very, very positive note, and it really, overwhelms me and fills my heart with so much joy and happiness that, yes, it has been a challenge for most of us. I think for my generation, if I was to speak, I think there's a lot of uncertainty with, schools, academic year, what happens to our jobs in terms of security, in terms of finances. But, I think when you look at the entire context of life itself, these things really don't kind of fit in, there will be a bigger plan, and I'm sure things will settle down, right? So there's no point in us fretting and fuming and
fuming about it,
and really winding ourselves and slipping in the downward spiral, because that's not certainly a healthy place to be in. Very well said. Thank you for that. Manji, aapke last words and passing comments.
Just briefly, I will sum it like that. Life is always a bumpy ride. Yeah, and you have to always be ever ready for challenges. They will keep coming in future also.
True.
During this period, we will have to derive a lot of lessons,
Yes.
a lot of realizations we should have come out with.
Right.
We should take lessons of the past mistakes, if we call them, and try to rectify in our future efforts.
Correct.
You know, and we should use very positive and strong words during this time. For example, I am okay. This is my belief.
Yes.
God will definitely enable us to sail this crisis through.
Yes.
Uttering the positive words really helps.
Right.
That is my
Affirmations.
thing. Hello.
Affirmations, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Affirmations.
Yes.
Very strong affirmations really help making a desired bent of mind.
Yes. All right.
That's
so we
all.
have the affirmation queen there. Would you like to give us some
correct.
affirmations? Mrs. Raman?
Affirmation is be safe, stay positive, and always have faith in whatever religion, whatever God you pray. A supreme power is always there to guide us and help us.
Yes.
So,
all right.
So that's it. And thanks a lot to all the other participants. It's nice seeing you all for the first time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. God bless everyone.
So I'd like to thank each and every one of you, and my extended wishes and love to your families. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I look forward to another session with you sometime soon. Thank you so much for doing this.
Nandini,
Ji.
I just wanted to, I forgot to share one thing very, this thing, interesting. Just
Please.
2-3 days back, my wife gave me a nice haircut.
It is
looking much younger, Balwinder ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And I had given her a dhamki. It was a deal that if the outcome is not good, then I will go bald. So she had to be more careful. So that's what that the takeaway. These positive takeaways from.
I think you better be careful, sir, because maybe it's a new career that she's actually grooming herself. Yeah. So please compliment her. It is really, really lovely. I wish she was close by. I desperately need a haircut, but I'm not going to be able to.
Just a word of warning I gave to my sons and to all the other people also, that please do not visit saloons, hair saloons and beauty parlors for at least 1 year.
Yes.
But
and even the person yeah, because that will be the next. That will be the next point of explosion of virus. Infection.
Picking up
the government has already put a ban for 1 year.
Correct.
Exactly.
So
yes, ma'am.
We have to make do with whatever is available at home.
Yes.
And help
so my wife has started it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Thank you, Nandini. It was a lovely chit chat, lovely talking to you all. And Mr. Maan, thank you so much. We are from the same profession, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting all of you.
Have a good evening and thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.